Hey, you guys, welcome to this edition of Let's Talk. Today, I want to talk about blood is not always thicker than water, okay? And of course, what prompted this particular session is first of all life experience, and the second thing is you probably have heard already in the news about Tim Norman, who had his nephew, well, allegedly had his nephew killed for insurance money of $150,000. Okay. Now, but the main focus is to talk about blood is not always thicker than water, and this goes to show that it's not. In as many cases, that it's not always thicker than water. Okay, we know that growing up, we may have been told that you stick with family no matter what. All right, you have family back no matter what. But the ones you have their back, do they always have your back? So I'm not saying anything or either trying to bring discord within family, but to recognize that in order for any family to heal, you got to recognize blood is not always thicker than water. And sometimes we got to recognize that there are some evil within our own family. Sometimes there's evil within us, and it comes to the point again, like I said, just recognizing those things and for healing. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and continue to use, and I hate to do that because I know my hearts go out to that mother because it was her son that is allegedly have killed, had paid for hire, killed her grandson, and that's just so devastating. You can't even imagine stuff like that, right? But the thing is this, what I do want to bring attention as a community, that we must look at this and recognize this, and then find ways as possible to see what we can do to bring healing within our family, because no family gonna rise. But there may be time where you may have to isolate yourself from your family. But let's go focus on this now. That to prove that to you that blood is not always thicker than water. Okay, let me just give you a little background on Tim Norman. Okay, again, he had his nephew Andre Montgomery allegedly set up, and he was killed in 2016 in St. Louis to cash in an insurance policy of $450,000, whom Tim Norman was the uncle, but also was the sole beneficiary, while the young man's brother and mother is still alive. So who really does that? That was a red flag right there. And he was killed by gunfire. So devastating. So devastating. And we also have, I think her name is Tarika Ellis. She's was an exotic dancer and a mother, as well as I can't pronounce this insurance agent name, but his name is best as I can, Wale Raha Yakuma. He's 42, and he was the young man that issued the policy to set it all up. And now his life, he's locked up, as well as the exotic dancer Miss Ellis. And now their life gone, and she's a mother, don't threw her life away in the midst of this mess. And they're going to show you now, like I said, this uncle had his very own allegedly nephew set up to be killed, all right? Now, and let's go back to the Bible. Cain and Abel in the book of Genesis, right? Cain was the farmer and Abel was the shepherd. Yahweh God Jehovah was who favored him, right? This Abel. But Cain raised up and killed Abel, his very own brother, okay? And I be going through other folks' YouTube channel, listening to, reading rather, some of the comments about this particular incident. But the thing is, again, like I said, it's so hard sometimes for us to realize that sometimes you got to cut blood or loose. Not all relative are good for you either, right? Because we know that. Again, like I said, I'm not trying to sow discord in the family, but sometimes we got to recognize the evil that sometimes family members do and cause other people. It could be on different levels. If you recognize that, take heed to it, and then adjust yourself accordingly. That's all I'm asking, or we're pointing out rather, because if let's say you grew up siblings and kinfolk will argue and disagree, man. And sometimes they fight, right? But how far would they go, or how far would you go to hurt that relative, right? Would you do something, try to have them set up as Tim did? Or would you just argue, fuss, and fight, cool off, and get back in friend? But when things start calling the police and pulling out knives and other harmful things to hurt the other relative, are you sure that's blood thicker than water? And would they do it to you? So I just give them something to think about. And, because this world has changed, and it's continued to change. And sometimes we got to evolve from certain family members. Okay, we have to. I would never tell nobody to stay in a environment that is very harmful to them, even if it's a relative. Like I said, we heard things that some people do in the family. Some people molest their own very nieces and nephew and cousin, and these things got to be recognized. Okay, so that's gonna show what a real, true blood do that to your family members. And oftentimes people don't want to talk about it. Sometimes people don't want to hear it, but those things exist. We can't keep ignoring that and praying it away. It don't work like that, and you still have that stigma. So this is what I want to open up a dialogue communication about today. Just talk about what is going on. I mean, things that what you may think. Do you think blood should always be um, supported no matter what they do, no matter how wrong they are? So just chime in the comment below. And thank you guys for tuning in to my channel, Let's Talk. And also, if you want to support our channel, go ahead and cash app us to Lisa and Quan, LIS, with first $sign. LISANQUAN, right? And thank you again for tuning in to Let's Talk.